I have a Grown Talks video to put up, but I'm thinking about it for a few reasons. I've just been thinking about a lot of stuff, and I'm getting older. I'm either going to affect other people in a constructive way or not. I don't mean in a phony constructive way like most people out here, but at the same time, this life is about, I can be as introverted as I want to. This life is about human interaction. And in a world where most of the humans are lost, but where we have tools such as technology and the internet and social media for as long as we have it, and by the way, it's as horrible and hateful as it is wonderful and beautiful. So incidentally, I encourage you to, with discipline, to take advantage of the social media technology to share and commune with like minds that are beneficial to your existence, an existence which may or may not be real life. But I wanted to go deep, you know. A lot of times I get ready to go deep, and sometimes I go. Anybody that's been around knows sometimes I go ahead, particularly if it's a sesh, and I'll go ahead and go deep on your ass. But I don't do it often, and although that's not a bad thing, it's me to think that way in general. I'm always thinking it, which is probably why, hence why, one of a few reasons why I'm a good judge of character. It's my infused oil that you see me putting primarily on the ends because, you know, I used to oil my scalp with it, but it'll drizzle down on the side of my face, and then I'll have this green streak of oil coming down my face in public, and that's a no. So, well, fortunately, I caught it before I went out in public. So I've been since concentrating on using that oil on the ends. But anyway, I'm putting my hair in a few braids just in case I do indeed go live tomorrow. Won't that be something? Man, y'all gonna be proud of me or not? I know a lot of y'all might not be able to be there, but or should I do it on a Sunday? Maybe I should do it all on a Sunday when my religious people are. No shade to them, because I encourage them to. You know, until people are conscious, I encourage them to have some level of guidance. And religion is a good source of moral balance before you reach the point where you wake. Unfortunately, it's also a good source of brainwashing. But, I mean, it is a good source of moral balance. And so, for people who are, which is most people, raised in an environment that is conditioned as such, it is a good start. Determining moral balance, moral priorities for yourself. So I've been, you know, reading and examining and analyzing things. I've been free thinking. Let's just say that. Sometimes I do all but talk about things beyond the human realm. Yeah, girl, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So I might as well go on and turn this into a sesh, right? But I'm gonna wait just a second. And quite frankly, everything's about to be a sesh. Everything's a sesh, you know. Because it's a mechanism with which I maneuver through this existence with humans. Because I won't say it's hard to do. It's not hard to maneuver through this existence with humans. I'm part human. So it's not difficult, but it's frustrating because it is ironically human nature not to be conscious. Like we've trained our entire species of being to just go along with whatever in this existence. But just a little bit. You know, I needed to do that. I needed to put the oil on first, but I want the oil to go on a wet canvas, a wet hair canvas. So, meanwhile, I'm researching these people who are discussing Kundalini awakening. And people who I'm sure believe that one does not exist without the other. Most of you, even if you just had a general understanding of what they both are, you would also agree that one could not, you would likely also agree that one could not exist without the other. But I'm here to tell you that one can and does exist without the other. Although the person that possesses it, that person who lives with it, is going to, in every case, be a person who is equipped to claim both. And those people are indigo people. And I guess if I tell you that, then I have to explain what I'm saying. Okay. So first let's address the differences. The difference is a Kundalini awakening is this energy, this omnipowerful energy that humans can hardly handle. And only this, and but of course, only the strongest of humans. Well, I can't say that because apparently I think people can be guided, even though they have to do it themselves. You have to awaken your own, or be open to, or it sneaks up on you. However it happens, a person can develop internally to be able to, or either have a guide or a master, a teacher to guide them to open their to awaken their own Kundalini experience. But an indigo child is spiritually awake from childhood. I would venture to say from birth. From birth. I'm not going to venture to say it. I'm going to say it. So as a result, it is very possible, and in most cases, I would even say probable, that an indigo child can be spiritually awake and not have experienced the awakening of his or her Kundalini energies. Now, that doesn't mean they have many experiences that are in the same realm regularly, because they do. But it's not always a case where we were, meditating and some shit came alive in us physically and our minds were blown, And all of a sudden, we have the ability to use common sense and free think for ourselves. Because we've always done that. That's why we've been a troubled child for people of authority. Not because we're disobeying or being rebellious. It's interpreted as rebellious, but we're not rebellious. I was a very, very good student, but I had questions. And there were questions that could not be answered, because there are questions that can only be answered by a person that is awake, spiritually awake. And 99% of the humans you encounter are not going to be. So, and what makes me even further different, I don't fit in nobody's box, do I? What makes me even further, I can't even fit in the indigo box. What makes me even further different is I'm also an introvert, but my introvertism is born of how humans are typically. And so I kind of retreat away from those levels of petty immoral ignorance. Because I don't want it in my life. I'm not equipped. I always say I'm not equipped to deal with it. And I'm equipped to. I just don't want to. So I don't. And I have that option. I'm so aware of the possession of that option. Not to entertain it. I'm so aware of that option that we all have. But y'all act like y'all don't have a choice. Y'all gotta be caught up in bullshit. But an indigo person is like, no, because I don't have to. And so bye. No, because I don't have to. And so bye. And there's no love lost. And I'm not gonna miss you. I don't even know you that well to miss you. I don't know you that well. It's because I interpreted your character or lack thereof, and I decided that you would not be a part of my life. I'm not even upset about it. I'd be upset if I allowed you in my life to fuck some shit up. But, so, again, the difference of the two, they're two very, very, very similar things. But the Kundalini energies are, so do spiritual energies. But I would more so describe Kundalini as manifesting itself physically. And those who experience that physical transition, they usually experience it after they have lived the typical sheeple robot life, conditioned, brainwashed, believe everything that everything everybody tell you, everything you're taught, because that's what we're conditioned to do. Those are people that wake up, as they exist in this realm and are like, oh no, there's something is awry with it. This is not constructive. And then they start, questioning things and doing more research, choosing different experiences for themselves in their lives. And it's a beneficial transition, to say the least. Because people's lives change completely all the way around. Whereas again, a person who has been there since birth, that's their whole life, You've always felt like literally alien to even your own family a lot of times, but definitely to the world. Particularly if you had a family that gave you freedom to be you, which was different than anything they'd ever encountered. I'm just pondering doing these live, because wouldn't that be nice? And for us to, have a place to commune. Because I know there aren't a lot of us, so, it's not like a situation where we can have, people have seminars and events. We can't have those because there are so few. And that's okay. But I like for there to be a place where we can just come together and brainstorm and and maybe accomplish nothing in our conversations. Never physically manifest anything, but to live and love, express, and rant, just like sheeple do, but over different things that mean stuff. And I'm sure they feel like what they, what their passions, I'm sure their passions are meaningful to them as well, as they should be. But we just tend to be passionate about different things. That's cool too. It's just different. Very different. So, don't know how to find my tribe when my tribe is so extremely scarce. And so, I figured I'd do it via these sessions. How about that? Ooh, this is going to come out so dry. I know it is. I feel it. I hear it. I feel it back there. I should be straight up washing it. I will get to talk to the good pastor this weekend. I love and miss him very much. And a fantastic influence in my life. As has my uncle, my husband, all the men in my life, my brother, all these amazing brown men in this world that don't get enough credit. Awesome fathers. And Mr. is even an awesome father to co-workers. Yeah, he gets Father's Day cards from work. And he should. Believe me when I tell you, he should. So the Kundalini experience is more physical and more of a chakra awakening. And the spiritual awakening is more of you recognizing the God in yourself. That's what that is. And so it's a perfect phrase to describe it, a spiritual awakening. And awakening is not this pseudo-hotep bullshit that's out here, or any other extremist teaching. Especially if religion is involved. Yeah, I'm a preacher's kid, and yeah, I said it. So y'all know I gave the Sunday school teachers hell. For that matter, I gave the school teachers hell. Because I had questions there, too. In every subject. Science, math, English. I had questions, yo. I hope I didn't forget to put oil on that last section. And so, my point is, there are some of us, since humans like to deal in boxes, I will categorize us as Indigo children who have not experienced the Kundalini awakening, the physical Kundalini awakening, and in fact, think that I would categorize that as something else. But because I have not personally experienced it, I'm going to stay in my lane. But I think you can experience one without the other if you are an Indigo child. Otherwise, if you are a person who has simply experienced a Kundalini awakening, I do believe that at that point you are forced to endure. And I'll say endure because it's as painful as it is euphoric for some people if you endure a Kundalini awakening in whatever circumstance or situation you put yourself in, to be able for that to happen for you. And congratulations, girl, by the way, and brother, congratulations, y'all. But I think those who experience a Kundalini awakening, there's no turning back at that point. And you must then follow through and entertain your spiritual awakening as a result. They go hand in hand for you. Whereas for us, we have all those awakening elements of the Kundalini experience, except those literal physical elements. In terms of you awakening that snake that's coiled up inside at the base of your spine. Yeah, I can't speak on that. Because I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. Meanwhile, it would be cute for y'all if I get the guts to do this live stream. So I was like, So when I went back natural, because I was born natural, bitch. So when I went back natural from birth, it occurred to me to use the heat protectant as a hairspray. Now, back to my woke folks. So I'm going to be here for you guys. You guys. I hate to say that. I feel like I sound like these little YouTube girls when I say, okay, so you guys, and then you guys, and then it's your girl, you guys, your girl, bullshit. And other such bullshit. But everyone who is woke, I'm not talking about fake hotep people. Okay? You motherfuckers are self-destructive. And you, in a lot of cases, you do more harm than good to the mission to which you claim to aspire. So I'm not talking to you. This is not for you. You go and fight your extremist fight in the world as you so choose, but this is not your platform. Feminist extremists, this ain't for you. Don't come in here talking about what what manhood and misogyny is done. Nobody's gonna be left unscathed here, okay? Because I go in on all sides, and now I understand why I go in on all sides, and it's not normal, and I'm good with that. I embrace it. I always have been good with it. The only problem I had was that there's not going to be an arena where I can express it where anybody's going to understand, because you don't feel alone. You know you're alone in it. You know you're alone in it. Because people are human. And in this day and age, in most cases, that is not a good thing. Sorry. Yeah, I said it. Humans ain't shit. I said it. I said it. You know, the brainwash is real. Conditioning is real. Your existence is real. Experiences that conditioned people have are not. If that makes any sense. And if the crowd that I am beckoning to has arrived, then you know what I'm talking about. If you're a part of said crowd that is just on their way, on their journey, you're just starting your journey, you don't know what I'm talking about, but you will. You will. But it's okay. It should not, the fact that humans ain't shit shouldn't stop you from loving and allowing yourself to be loved. Because that is our weapon, boys and girls. Love. That's what you're going to need for this fight. And a lot of it. And that's why it's important that you select, not even necessarily, like-minded, but really genuinely good humans in your life as you go along this path. Because, like I said, if you've experienced the Kundalini, you don't have a choice right now. You know, there are some people that have experienced spiritual awakening of their own accord because they grew the fuck up and stop knowing every goddamn thing and letting you open yourself up so that the God in you can work. And by that, again, I basically just mean growing the entire fuck up. Because there are some childish adult age people roaming around, steadily procreating, okay, in bulk, and passing their bullshit on down, which is how we wound up with a society full of sociopaths who are walking through this bitch, eyes wide shut. And really, that's okay. It's going to have to be okay. Because you can't change the world by yourself, and I already told you how rare we are. If you're rare as just a woke person and a conscious person in general, imagine being a woke, introverted, indigo child. Imagine what that's like. And the funny thing is, when you really give it some real thought, it's easy to perceive it as a lonely existence, but it's not lonely. It's not lonely, but we are most definitely, in most synopses, alone in our thoughts, because we actually use our own mind when exercising them. Who does that? Even when people set out to use their own mind, they I'm saying this respectfully to the public, because it's gonna sound shady. It's gonna sound like I'm just gonna sound and or feel like I'm throwing shade. But people often consider what they've been told or taught. Yes, even in your own home, girl. Even in your own home where your parents raised you, because they got conditioned to make you believe some stuff. You know? And so whenever someone presents something to you, even as you think about it, you consider what someone else has told you. That's not free thinking. Free thinkers don't operate that way, unless they are considering something that they heard from someone else, that from their own experience and research and common sense logic has assessed as truth. Talking out of my ass. Nope. Okay. No, I'm not throwing in the towel. I'm not throwing in the towel, because this is what I'm here for. I'm not throwing in the towel. And we're going to talk about all the different stages of this experience and stuff. All of us, we're going to talk about it. Because there are going to be some people to come through, and I'm going to need to have patience with them, because they are going to just be entering their journey, and they're going to not be people who have experienced Kundalini, but people who consciously opted to wake up, to grow up, and to live their best life and be surrounded in love. If they come here, they come into my realm, I need to find patience, because there need to be as many conscious people in this world as possible. And the reality is, as it stands, it's impossible for there to be a whole lot. So every single soul, I need to find patience. Open and embrace, because I'm very quick to assess character. And for people who are just awakening, for people who are just building their consciousness, of course it's not an overnight thing. It's not cold turkey. They're going to slip into some of those things. So are those frames of mind, because it's impossible not to. It's impossible not to. Just like when I talk about, just like an addiction. Literally everyone has an addiction, born of where your passions lie. And literally, let me turn this off, because this is a new video.